Welcome to Cherry Blossom Yoga. I'm Robin Dinderman. This is a half-hour Hatha Yoga class for beginning and continuing students. In this class, we're going to focus on movements, postures, which are called asana, that help increase the flexibility of the spine and maintain the flexibility of the spine. At the end of each class, I always say, Namaste. I've heard it pronounced Namaste, and I understand that in the south of India they say Namaskaram. It's a salutation, a greeting, that means the light in me greets the light in thee. It's a lovely salutation like aloha or shalom or salam. I live in a garden apartment complex, and some boys knocked on the door the other day, little boys, maybe 8 or 9 years old, and they said, "We'll take your garbage and recycling for $0.25." I said, "Are you sure?" They said, "Well, maybe 50 cents. I said, "Okay." So I gathered up my garbage, gathered up my recycling, because it's a hike from my apartment down to the recycling area. And they had a little trolley with them, and they loaded up the large recycling bin and the small one and the bag of garbage, and I suggested that they get some hand sanitizer if this is how they were going to earn money for themselves. So they were gone for about 7-8 minutes. They came back, and I had 2 empty containers, no garbage, and I gave each one of them $1. Because I thought it was so great. They were trying to earn money for themselves. And they said thank you and thank you. And the third little boy did this. So I figure I'll say Namaste. And he says, "I'm from Thailand." So I tried. Let's begin with hands in Anjala Mudra, pressing together. Pushing the hands against each other helps with flexibility and improving circulation. Releasing, the blood starts flowing again, and pressing, there's a little bit of stoppage of the blood flow. This is something good to do if you're working at the computer all day or you've been writing. You can also do like this, fingertips together, and come down and up and down. And now let's bring the hands over the head. Now probably you have your hands forward like so. So see what you can do about bringing the hands back over the crown of the head, and notice how the elbows start to come in. So pull the elbows back and lower the hands just above the crown of your head. And then inhale and reach up. Deep breath in through the nose, exhale and lower. Check the position of your hands and your elbows. Inhaling up. Fill the chest with air. Imagine you're filling the belly with air as well. And reaching up. And exhaling. And release the hands and let the arms float down to your sides. Now notice what's happening in the neck and the shoulders. You can feel the tension draining off. And let's come back to this position over the head. We're going to make a small turn to one side. I'm going to turn to my right. Breathe in. Breathing out, turn the hips just a little to the right, the rib cage turns, and then turn your head just slightly and make sure the hands are above the head. Let your eyes look at the inside of the arm or beyond. Inhaling back to center and exhaling, the hips turn to the other side. The rib cage turns a little, the eyes look to the corners, come back to center. Breathe in and breathe out. So going at your own pace, turning from side to side, you're loosening up the spinal column. You're also getting a little bit of movement into your ankles and your knees. And because I'm going to assume that you have not been exercising, you're not warmed up, we are taking this really slowly and going in slow movements, not pushing, not going farther than what we can that feels good or right for your body. Remember, if your arms get tired, simply lower them. And after a while, you'll see the arms relaxing and collapsing. That happens to all of us. And let the arms float down. So if you're feeling a little bit warmed up after that, bring the hands to the heart and over the head, feet hip distance apart, toes forward. Breathe in. Now I'm bending the left knee and twisting right, turning the rib cage right, looking over my right shoulder. And now I inhale, returning to center, and exhale and twist, going around to the other side. Keep those hands above your head, eyes look over the shoulder, and back to center, breathing in. Now this is, I hope you're feeling a little bit more open and the body is learning this movement. And you're feeling some stretching going on. And come back to center and release the hands and let them float down. And place your hands on top of your elbows, holding the elbows at shoulder height. Again, check the distance between your feet. And it's the same twist with the shoulders relaxed, the neck free, the feet pressing down, and the crown of your head reaching up to the ceiling. Breathe in. Breathing out, the hips turn right, the rib cage turns right, and then bring your right elbow back as far as you can and look over that right arm. Inhale back to center, crossing center line, exhale and twist, looking over the shoulder again. And you'll notice each time you do this, especially if you're exhaling at the twist, it's going to feel a little bit looser, a little bit smoother, and a little bit easier. And release. And release the arms. Pause and breathe, standing tall. Breathing in through the nose, pulling the air down your body, letting it fill the lungs and the belly, and exhaling, tightening, retracting the belly muscles. Exhaling, imagining the air traveling up your center line and leaving your body either through your mouth or through your nose. For triangle pose, I'm separating my feet about 3 or 4 feet apart. If you're new to this, you might want to stand with your feet closer together. So I'm turning one foot out at 90 degrees, the other foot in at about 45, and then I square my body to the front of the mat, and the arms at shoulder height, palms forward. The hip juts to the left, and we fold right. So the hand is inside of my right knee. I'm going to look up at the left hand and reach for the ceiling. This right hand just hangs, the arm hangs. And if you're not feeling stable in the posture, look down instead of up. Reaching up, it's a little bit easier if you can turn, but you don't have to do that. Breathe in and out, and bring the two hands together. And bring the hands down to the floor. Your legs do not have to be perfectly straight. If they're bending a lot, see, I'm moving my foot outward to give more space between the feet. And here I'm going to give my spine a little bit of a twist, coming up looking at the hand. The fingers of my left hand are spread. I'm just resting on the finger pads of the hands. Breathe in and out. My right hand goes outside of the right foot. I pull the left hip back and look up at the left hand. I'm using the right hand. I'm on my fingertips just for balance here. I'd love to be able to do this without using my hand at all. Breathe in and out and lower the hand. And walk the hands back to center. Pivot the feet out. And then lower the upper body. Try to straighten the spine, lengthen the neck, that's including the neck. Arms out in T position and unfold back into star position. So you find what distance between your feet is comfortable. You may need to reposition your feet and then turn. This is my left foot out at 90 degrees, right foot in at 45. I want to square the hips and the shoulders to the front of the mat. Shoulders relaxed as I jut my hips to the right. And folding down. The left hand inside of the left knee. And if you can, look up to the right hand and reach. A very dynamic pose. You're continuously reaching upward. Breathe in and breathe out. And bring the right hand down to the floor. The fingers are spread. You can see the hand is just in front of the shoulder. And the right foot is turned out slightly. The front foot is forward. I drop my right hip a bit. Rotate at the waist so the rib cage turns. And look up at the left hand. And breathe. Breathe in, and with control and with awareness, release the hand as you release the arm. Now I'm going to pull the right hip back, lift the right shoulder, and look up at the right arm, reaching upward. And breathe in and out and watch the hand come down. We're going to walk both hands around to the front. Lower the shoulders, feeling the stretch in the lower back. The arms come out in T position. Lift the back of the neck, lengthen the neck, and then come up into star. Relax the hands, lower them down, and either step your feet back together or heel toe back together. Pause, hands at the heart, eyes closed. And breathe deeply. Exhale completely. You might feel renewed energy or a release of tension. Notice what's going on in your body. Scan your neck and shoulders. Can you feel your heart beating? Notice your lower back. How does that feel? Your hips, your knees and ankles, the feet firmly planted on the floor. Your posture strong and straight. Your breath deep. We're going to pause for a moment and come down to the floor. Please join me. If you're on a chair or a sofa, that's fine. You can stay there and join me with the arm movements, or simply stick with the breathing. That's really the whole basis of yoga, is the breath. So we'll be back to Cherry Blossom in just a moment.
They said I have troll teeth.
That my voice sounded like a possessed baby doll.
That no one would ever love someone as stupid as me.
That I was fat, ugly.
Disgusting.
The effect of bullying is potent.
We will no longer be the silent majority.
Now, when you see online bullying, there's something you can do about it.
We're gonna take action with the I.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness, and so are you.
Welcome back to Cherry Blossom Yoga. We're on the floor now, we're on the mat. If you, however, want to stay on the couch or sit in your chair, that's just fine. Follow along with the breathing and whatever stretches you can manage from a seated position. I'm putting my blanket out here now because we're going to go into the table pose. And when you're on your knees, be sure you take care to keep enough cushioning underneath. So, in the table posture, the knees are hip distance apart. They're slightly outside of the hips. The hands are slightly in front of the shoulders, fingers spread, and a cushion of air underneath your palms. Inner elbows turned to face each other. Now, I see so many of the students doing this with the toes on the floor. Try to turn the ankle so the heel goes outward and the big toes point toward each other. Many people can't do this, but practicing this, doing just a little bit of it, over time, you may gain some more flexibility in your ankle. The other thing you could do is increase the padding under the ankle, and this seems to help some people if you do this. Okay, so from table, Madhyasana, we're going into cat stretch. We breathe in through the nose, the belly rounds as it fills with air, and then exhale. Tuck the pelvis underneath, bring the jaw to the throat, the chin to the chest. Release all the air, and then inhale and lengthen. And exhale and arch. And inhale and lengthen. People always ask me, which exercise would you recommend doing every day? Well, not an exercise, but a movement, something that manipulates the spine, causes you to deepen the breath, lengthen the out breath, and then pull back. This is extended child. And again, the ankles should be turned outward. And then we can walk the hands forward, one hand after the other, pressing the finger pads into the mat and feeling the stretch deep into the armpit, and it'll travel down in between the ribs. Then walk the hands back so the shoulders move away from the ears. Your neck is free. Again, check the hands. The arms are parallel. And come up into table, making any adjustments that you need. Bring your chin to the shoulder. Try to bring that shoulder to the hip and back to center. So I'm doing chin to right shoulder. I try to swing the right hip up. It's move, not swing the right hip up. I don't want you to think that you should do this quickly, but some more movement for the lower spine. And back to center and pull back and into extended child. Let your head sink. Let the shoulders sink. And then slowly lift the back of your neck and come back up again. Going to come up onto the knees and bring one foot forward. Now this foot should be in line with the sit bone or the hip, the ankle underneath the knee, and then bring your shoulders back so the shoulders are above the hips. Bring both thumbs to the hip hinge, bring the elbows in close, and we're doing a very modified lunge. Bringing the knee forward, no farther than the toes, and back to center. Very simple, very easy lunge. Breathing in and out. Now bring the knee forward. Again, bring the hands to the heart. Dive downward. Reach up. Pull the elbows back as we did earlier. Pull the hands back over the crown of the head. Now lift your gaze up. You don't need to lift the chin, but let the eyes look up and across the ceiling or the sky, wherever you might be, and breathe. And then slowly bring the knee back over the ankle. Return the hands to the heart. Lower the shoulders, allow the shoulder blades to sink, and then very carefully turn to one side, look over the shoulder. Let your eyes go to the corners, and back to center, and twisting around to the other side. So you can do this in your chair, remember, and back to center, and release the hands. I'm bringing both hands down inside of the leg, bringing it back, and I'm pulling back into extended child once again. And then coming upward, we're going to bring the other leg forward. So you can use your hand to reposition the leg. Again, you want the ankle lined up with the hip, so the legs are hip distance apart. The knee, there should be a 90-degree angle here of the knee, and we want both hands right at the hip hinge and exhaling, or you can put the thumbs there, however you want to hold. A few easy lunges forward. Not going too far. And see how important it is to have this back ankle turned, because you have more surface area of your foot. If you're balanced on your toe, you'll probably have a difficult time staying upright. And then hands at the heart, breathe in and dive down. Inhale, arms up. Bring the knee a little bit forward, lift your gaze, look across the sky, and breathe. And come back to center, bringing the hands to the heart. Take a breath in, and breathe out, and turn to one side, looking over the shoulder if you can. Come back to center, breathing in, turning to the other side, breathe out. And then once again, we'll come down to the floor, both hands inside of the leg, move the knee back. We're going to come into a posture that I call egg, and then we're going to turn it into Balasana, the child pose. And let your head hang down. Let the arms drape around the body. And each time you exhale, let the shoulders sink. Feel the back of your neck stretch. The lips and cheeks become heavy. The hands are limp. Then bring your attention to the lower back and breathe in as if you had nostrils in your lower back area, and let that whole let the opening happen where the muscles relax and stretch. And when you breathe out, allow yourself to sink down. Breathing in, it's kind of difficult to let the belly really fill with air, but breathing out, let gravity do the work for you. And also, I would add, some people find this is more comfortable with the knees separated. So you would come down like so. Or as far apart or close together. I have mine completely together here. So moving from the egg into child, the difference is that you turn your head to one side. So this brings more blood to, I have my head turned left, so I'm bringing more blood to the right side of my brain. So pause for a few seconds, letting the arms sink some more, letting the tailbone drop. And then slowly turn your head back to center. So you return to egg. And then turn your head to the other side. So the other hemisphere of the brain receives more blood. Turn your face back to center, lift the back of the neck slowly, and then extend the arms slowly. Pull the hips away from the shoulders, and then walk the hands back to center. Come down onto your back. Or remain seated if you wish. And let your eyes close. Adjust your body so that you feel nothing from your back or your shoulders, so you're not distracted by anything. You might wish to stay in this position for several minutes if you can. We're drawing this class to a close. I hope you're feeling wonderful, and I hope you can carry that feeling with you into your day, your week, and your life. Namaste.